Next, we're going to talk about the rental and sales of the concrete saws. The two major ones that we have for our rental fleet are the TS420 and the TS700. The difference between the two is the 700 has more power, but also we can connect it to the rental cart so that they can have it there and make one straight line cut. It saves fatigue on the arms for the customers. Most of the rentals that we have is this TS420. So we're going to talk through the starting procedures of this, and we'll talk through both of them. They're very similar. First thing we want to do is we always put a brand new blade on for the customer. So we start by taking off the outer cover. Make sure that you have your spacer in here for the blades, because the blades tend to have an adaptation. Slide the blade up and over the spacer. You have two little cutouts tabs here that you need to line up, and you can just spin it around until it will pop in. Then you tighten down the bolts. In the bolt, you can use just a standard chainsaw wrench to use. Do the wide end on this side, and on the other side, you can take just the little steel screwdriver, put it through the hole, and press it in until it will click in and hold. There we are. Then you tighten down the bolt. That will just lock the blade in place so that you can keep moving on. The starting procedure for these concrete saws, just like all steel products, we press the primer bulb until it's full of gas. We then pull in the trigger, turn this back to the start position, release the trigger, then you can let go of that part. Push the choke all the way up to the top where it says choke. We place your left hand on the handle and your left knee on the back part of the concrete saw to hold it in place. You pull the starter cord until it fires over once. Then you come back over here to the warm and cold start, put it all the way down, then you go back and pull it again until it fires up. Once it's running, you pull in the trigger to bring it to the normal idle position. Then all the way forward is to turn it off. You have your cold and warm start like we talked about in the other videos, where the cold start is if they're starting it for the first time for the day. Warm start is if they stop to refill with gas or it's been used pretty recently. On the TS700, we have the same thing. This guy's a little bigger, so it does have a decompression valve on it. You can push in the decompression valve. That will save you extra pulls on your hand, on your arm. You press the primer bulb until it's full of gas. It takes a little bit of time to get all the gas up all the way to this primer bulb. This guy, we have our choke on the other side. And again, cold start, warm start, and off. So we're going to turn it to cold start. It hasn't been fired up yet today. Then in the back here, we have where you pull in the trigger all the way down, release the trigger, and then let go. We pull it over, and we put our left hand on the handle, your left knee on the back of this concrete saw to help stabilize it. We pull it. It fired over once, so I'm going to turn the choke off, repress the decompression valve, and pull it again. As soon as it fired, I pulled the trigger so that we get to the normal idle position. And then to turn it off, all the way up is to turn it off. Things to talk about with the customers is OSHA does regulate that you want to have a water source or some sort of vacuum source to mitigate the dust. So these ones do have hookups to go to a standard garden hose, and then you can spray water on it. That will help with the dust and the inhalation of all that. The other big thing is they want to wear safety glasses and ear protection because this is very loud and it does spit up a ton of dust and debris. Other than that, moving it around while the blade is spinning, it does have a tendency to want to move on you because it's such a large blade spinning, it will want to move. So that's another thing to tell the customer to be aware of. We do send this out with a full tank of gas and a can of mixed gas with them. That way we don't have any issues with them accidentally putting in straight gas. So this is a 50-1 mix, 50-1 mix, or you should be using your Opti oil, which will then do any mix ratio for you. Again, we walk over the whole starting procedure with the customer. When they take it out, we tell them all the safety scenarios. When they bring it back in, ask them how it ran for them, and fire it up with them still in your presence. Walk over the entire thing again so that we know that nothing bad happened to the machine and we don't have to check it in for service.